Grille. It's Nick McDevitt Live. 1 hour of basketball conversation featuring the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Be part of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU.
Buford from 17, good, and middle wins it.
Now with Coach Nick McDevitt, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walter.
Coming up.
Welcome into the Boulevard. It's another Monday night here for Nick McDevitt Live. Glad to have you with us for the next hour. The head coach is here, and you never know what might come up in conversation tonight. We've got a special guest right near the half of this show tonight. We're going to first kind of get a little bit off the rails just a minute, but want to congratulate our Blue Raider alum, Reed Blankenship, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Reed becomes the 15th different Blue Raider who has won a Super Bowl ring, and the 6th in a row. 6 in a row, 6 years in a row. Middle has had somebody on the winning team, and over the last 6 years, probably, I think.
Can you name them?
Not all. I know.
Darius Harris, Charvarius Ward.
Darius Harris twice.
Yep, Charvarius Ward. Isaiah Gathings. Chandler Brewer.
And also
obviously Reed,
and one other receiver who went to San Francisco. Who am I thinking? Who am I missing?
Richie James.
Richie James. So a lot of Chiefs, and now we get a Philadelphia Eagle. And I don't know if folks saw it, but if you drive Interstate 24 between Murfreesboro and Nashville, there's a couple of digital billboards on the road, one going each way, that are MTSU related. And Mark Owens from Media Relations, I really don't want to give him any credit for this, but I'm going to have to. And the University Communication Office, Andrew Ottman, his group, they had it ready to go. That as soon as the Eagles won last night, there was a congratulatory billboard along I-24 going both directions.
Well, they could have put that up at about 6:30.
That's
about
right.
Halfway through the second quarter, they could have put that one up. That thing was over in a hurry.
It was, and much to do with the Eagles' defense.
Man, they were incredible. I mean, just rushing 4 and getting home. They were getting to the quarterback over and over. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable, but that defense was they were incredible.
Yeah,
they really were.
They really were, and the Kansas City's offensive line has been beaten up a little bit.
33 that had the pick six? Wasn't it his 22nd birthday?
It was his birthday, and he got the pick six. Well, last week on this show, I had predicted a pick six to win it. I didn't know it was going to be by somebody else
in the second quarter.
In the first, right at the beginning of the game, but. That happened, and congratulations to Reed Blankenship.
I remember the first kind of interaction I had with that young man.
And you knew he was special immediately.
Well, it was on the school plane coming back from Dallas, Texas. We were at the media day for basketball in October, and it was after Reed had snapped and broken his leg in the North Texas game, and he had stayed down there to have surgery after the game and was riding back with us, and he's getting on the plane, and he's all kind of looped up, but at the same time he's trying to be nice and cordial and yes sir, no sir. He's just that kind of young man, even though he was going through a real tough time. But man, just to see that kind of really gruesome injury for the Blue Raider fans that remember that one, that was a rough one to watch.
Well,
to see that 6 or 7 years later, he's been in the Super Bowl twice and now got a ring. You can't. It's easy to pull for guys like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's from Athens, Alabama, just down the road, and they're really proud of him. I saw pictures of him and his parents and his fiancee Elsa Schaefer, and I had gotten a text last night from Coach Schaefer. He was really excited as well. So, again, congratulations there to Reed Blankenship, the latest Blue Raider to wear a Super Bowl ring. And with that, we kind of go back into basketball and the craziness that is Conference USA's regular season. It's just wild.
It's wild. I mean, every time after our game, you and I are talking about whether it's Thursday or Saturday, how close all the games are. The scores are tight, not just ours, but all the games they're close. There's a lot of good teams. There's a lot of parity, and we see it night in and night out. We had a real close one on Saturday. Played a really good Jacksonville State team, and what is probably right now the front runner for Player of the Year. And Jerron Pierre had a great night, and that's just life in this league. We talked a little bit about just facing multiple guys who are capable of getting 30. Western Kentucky, who we play this weekend, had one young man get 30 points on Thursday and a different one get 30 on Saturday. You look at our guys. Cam Weston's at a 30. JP's at a 30. Jerron Pierre a 30. Next weekend you're playing Sam Houston. Lamar Wilkerson has been that guy. So there are just so many perimeter players in this league that are capable of having big nights, and you got to be ready every night. The other night we play Simeon Cottle and Woolley for Kennesaw State. Both of those young men have had 30-plus nights. So just incredible offensive, talented players in this league.
You mentioned Jerron Pierre, probably the clubhouse favorite for Player of the Year. Adrian Woolley, if he doesn't get Freshman of the Year.
There needs to be an investigation.
Yeah, he's just been terrific. He is a
18 and a half a night guy.
Yeah, a 7-time Freshman of the week. And I'm not sure, did he win it again today or not?
Yes, he did.
So that's 8 times.
And Pierre won Player of the Week.
And that makes that road trip really tough.
And right now they've combined to lose 2 games at home all season. Kennesaw's lost 2, one to us and one to Liberty, and Jacksonville State has not lost at home all season. And so that's a tough one. You're playing 2 tough teams.
Yeah, and it's interesting how things ebb and flow and which road trips and road swings are super tough. And something I want to get into later is about who you play within the road trip can sometimes make a difference in how things are being scheduled. But here's a little piece of trivia for you.
I thought we kept this to the end.
Well, this is just a little piece of trivia. We've got 5 others that are marinating right now in my notebook that'll come later in the show. But there are 2 freshman basketball players in the country that lead their team in scoring and lead their team in field goal percentage. There are 2 freshmen in the country. Who are they?
Adrian Woolley and Cooper Flagg.
That's right, because I gave you the answer the other day, but that's true.
No, you did not.
Adrian Woolley of Kennesaw State and Cooper Flagg of Duke are the only 2 freshmen in the country that lead. That's
high company.
High company right there. But going into the weekend, here are the way things stand in Conference USA. Jacksonville State, with their comeback win over Western Kentucky, leads Conference USA at 9-2, and then things get really murky. Middle and Liberty are tied for second at 7-4. UTEP is a half game back at 6-4 after their win at New Mexico State. They revenged a 30-point home loss with a 5-point home win or road win at New Mexico State. Louisiana Tech and Kennesaw are a game behind Middle at 6-5. New Mexico State is 5-5. Western is 5-6. FIU is 2-9, and Sam Houston is 1-10. And you look at those 2 at the bottom, FIU and Sam Houston, and nobody wants to play them.
No, but you don't,
because they're awfully tough. But that's the way it is with 7 games remaining for most people. Some have a couple have 8 left, but most everybody has 7 games remaining, and it's going to get wild. Right now, Middle has 4 home games and 3 road games left, and after this weekend, it falls into your favor a little more at 4-2, and that's why you kind of think, okay, I don't mind going on the road that first weekend in January. Students aren't back. You're going to a couple of tough places to play, and you're able to get a split on that opening road trip, and now you're going to have that group coming back to you here in the second half.
That's right. You know, so far on our road trips, we've been able to get a split each time, and that's the deal in order to be at the top of the league. Jacksonville State has been able to separate themselves and being in first because they swept a trip. You know, they went out west and got both at UTEP and New Mexico State. And that's really been the difference so far. Is they're the one team that took both games on a road trip. Obviously, this week it'd be nice to go undefeated on the road, going up to Western, and then once that one's over, we've got 3 weekends, 2 of them at home and 1 of them to go out west.
Yep. All right, we're going to step aside, get things rolling here. Nick McDevitt live from the Boulevard here in Murfreesboro. Back after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, have you heard about the MTSU branded debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use your Ascend MTSU debit card in stores and online, or add it to your mobile wallet for the ultimate convenience. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Stop by one of Ascend's 5 Murfreesboro branches or visit ascend.org to learn more. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt live here at the Boulevard. Our show brought to you in part by First Vision Bank. Accomplish your vision for your personal or business finances with First Vision Bank. With dedicated banking professionals, products to fit your goals, and advanced financial management tools, your vision is their mission. FVB.bank, FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The trip to Jacksonville State, they were in the league going into that game last Thursday night. And when you prepare for a team that has a guy that is such a great scorer like Jerron Pierre is, you know, sometimes you have to pick your poison a little bit. And what were the thoughts of you and the staff as you prepared for that, knowing that you had another game with 2 great scorers on Saturday?
Yeah, the biggest thing was, Coach Long showed the guys some film today of here was the game plan, the defensive game plan going into it, and here is where we messed up, and some corrections that need to be made, one of which was just how prolific of a scorer he is, and you've got to make him work for him. And the one of the areas that bit us was several of his first looks of the game were good looks. And when an offensive player starts seeing the ball go in the basket early, you've got your work cut out for you. I mean, at our place, his first good look was with about 45 seconds to a minute to go in the first half. That was his first points. We ended up with 22. And so he scored 22 points in about 21 minutes. The difference was down there. He got the first bucket of the game, and it was off an offensive rebound.
It was kind of dumb luck.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because it was off of an offensive rebound from Mason Nicholson, and we had kind of him circled as he's a big-time offensive rebounder. So really on the first possession, they get this guy doing what he wants to do and this guy doing what he wants to do. And that doesn't mean you're going to pitch a shutout. It doesn't. But you want to make sure that, Jerron Pierre, if he's going to shoot 17 shots, his first good look is with about 6 minutes to go in the first half, and you've made it rough, and you kind of got a body on a body the whole time. And Mason Nicholson, the first time he gets a free offensive rebound, he feels like he needed a helmet and shoulder pads to get it. And it just didn't. That's not the way that one went. Now all of a sudden that you're fighting, trying to put out the fire on the road early, and that was the difference. He's a terrific player, Jerron Pierre. I mean, he's leading the league in scoring.
He looked like a pro out there Thursday.
Well, because when he's got his head on straight, he is. I mean, he made not just from an NBA distance threes. He made a couple professional three-point shots where we had either JB or Torrey on him, almost giving him a high five in the air. And you got somebody all over him. The only way you guard him any closer, you'd foul him. And he's making them. But the difference is he's already made 2 or 3 that were easy. And now he's seeing a big bucket. That rim looks like a hula hoop. And that you can't let offensive players, I mean, you listen to Antoine Petway, the coach of Kennesaw State. He was saying the same thing about his team on Saturday night about Justin Porter's threes in our game. Is all of a sudden, he was mad as he could be at his team for saying to them, we let this guy come in here, and the first couple of shots he took, he's open. From the first one at the top of the key in the first half to the last shot of the first half when Jalen Counter hits him on that left wing, and you're giving a really good offensive player open looks, and they'll make you pay. And we've got a lot of those in this league.
Yeah, sure do. This is a league full of great guards, and that's not any disrespect to the post players. And if you remember the first game with Jacksonville State, Mason Nicholson did not play the second half. That's when he had the head bump and was on the sideline. I guess he was in concussion protocol for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they were wanting to just be cautious because he played the next game, but he played like 14 minutes and had 8 points and 3 rebounds in the first one. Obviously, in the second game, I'm sure he wanted to show that he was worth more than 8 points and 3 rebounds, and he came out with a little zest and a little fire to him.
Yeah, he sure did. And as that game went along, you were down 14 at halftime, and immediately came out and made a run. And there were a couple of times where you made runs at them, got it to within 7 at 61-54, and that was at about the 11-minute mark, somewhere right along there. But when you've got a guy like that who can step up and make a shot and
douse the flame,
be a drought killer.
Yeah.
That's kind of a. You've got a couple of those yourself, and that's one of the real differences in your ball club this year.
It is, and the other night, if you look at the, Justin Porter's averaging 17, 18 points a game, he gets 17 points. You kind of keep going on down the line. Esam, I think, had 11 or 12 points in the game. He's averaging 12 or 13. You just keep going, and on their side, Mason Nicholson does this. The difference was we lost by 14, and Jerron Pierre was 14 over his average.
Yeah.
You just had a guy that was in a whole different ballpark that night. And sometimes you got to tip your hat. What you don't want to do is allow them to get that fire going early.
Yeah.
And he was the difference in the game. I mean, at halftime, we were talking as a staff, like, there's some of these possessions, you really don't know there's not a correction to be made. You know, you guarded the action right. We've got JB on their best offensive weapon, or Torrey on their best offensive weapon, and he pulled up and shot a 25-footer off the bounce that was contested, and it went in. You know, there's almost every time all season you're saying, we made them take the exact shot we wanted them to take. They didn't get in the paint. They took a contested three over a 6'6", 6'8" guy, and he made it. And, you know, we'll hope to see him again. Yeah,
they got off to a great start in the first half. It was all even in the second half, 29 apiece, and Jacksonville State got the win 77-63. We'll step aside and talk about Saturday's matchup as the Blue Raiders travel over to Kennesaw right after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Looking for something to take your mind off this traffic? How about a true story of instant success? Did you hear about the two friends who went grocery shopping in Ashland City and picked up everything on their list plus $75,000? Or the one where a truck driver made a last-minute stop off Interstate 40 and drove off with a cool $1 million? All their lives changed in an instant, and yours could too. So stop by your local retailer for your chance with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, life-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
When it comes to money, I'm a saver.
Me too. Though I can also be a bit of a spender.
Well, Ascend has got you both covered. With our interest-earning checking, you can
earn interest so I can save money for my beach trip?
Sure. And with our rewards checking, you can
get cash back for my purchases? Tap reward?
Yep. So no matter how you handle your money, Ascend Federal Credit Union has the right checking account for you. Interest-earning checking earns 3.56% annual percentage yield up to $15,000. Some restrictions apply.
Last 30.
Feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Boulevard tonight for Nick McDevitt Live, brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call, 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. Now, after the game at Jacksonville State, got up Friday morning. It's only about a 90-minute drive over to Kennesaw from Anniston, and you let the guys sleep in a little bit, get some breakfast, got in the hotel, over in Kennesaw, and then got into the gym again. But there's a lot of film time in there as well, and there's not a lot of physicality going when you're preparing for the second game of a 2-game road swing.
Yeah, you just can't, because they're, depending on who played, how physical the game was the night before, some of those guys are just tired and sore, and your emotions are still high after the game. Whether you won or lost, you're replaying, rethinking everything when you're going to bed, and it just kind of sits on you, whether it's good or bad. And there's some guys that just because the heavy minutes, their legs are hurting or they're sore, they might have taken an elbow to the side or something's hurting, and then you get up the next morning and you feel that, and then you go sit on a bus for a while. And now when you get to the next place, I mean, for you and I, we didn't play, and
I'm still a little stiff.
You still feel it.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to work kind of the bus legs and the dead leg out of them. But at the same time, some guys are playing 32, 35, 38 minutes. And so you just can't get out there and have a get after it kind of practice the next day, knowing that you play again the following day. So those Fridays, you got to be really smart and have a good balance of doing enough physicality where it isn't just a true walkthrough, but at the same time, you better not do too much, or you'll find out in the last 10 minutes of the game you're out of gas.
And Kennesaw has a big 2 and kind of a big 3. They've got Simeon Cottle, Adrian Woolley, and Ronji Gordon, who is a terrific offensive rebounder, who we have had to go against now for 4 or 5 years when he started his career at UAB, and now he's at Kennesaw. And it's interesting that with scores like Woolley and like Cottle, one of the key things you all talked about was rebounding and keeping Ronji Gordon off the offensive rebound, which is not an easy task.
Not an easy task, and it is what he's good at. It is what they are good at. Lou's good at it. Miller is a good athletic young player at 6'6", but Ronji Gordon is athletic, strong, aggressive, fits the UAB mold, but also he fits the Jacksonville State and the Kennesaw State mode as well. We went into that trip. Jacksonville State was number 1 in the league in rebound margin. Kennesaw State was 2. And so it is what they're good at. It's kind of sometimes the UAB model a little bit that our fans have watched for a long, long time, and a little bit with Jacksonville State's teams. We haven't played Kennesaw traditionally, obviously, as much as we have the other 2, but sometimes it's get it up on the rim and then go get it. And
that's their best offense.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
for UAB, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
And for Kennesaw State, they've got 2 guards that are really, really good, Cottle and Woolley. And the other guys, what they are good at is being aggressive athletes. And when they all know that those 2 are going to shoot at about 17 or 20 times each. And that's going to be 50% of our team shots. So if you want it, you better go rebound it. And they do. They get it up on that rim, and, man, they just crash. And so if you're just trying to get into a jumping competition, they're going to hit you and go get it.
Well, as you mentioned, Middle got off to a great start. And the thing that surprised me, it seemed that the energy level, I mean, I expected a high energy level, but it started and it was off the charts. And the pace of the game early on was just frenetic, and that surprised me a little bit.
Well, one of the areas that we are really good is our transition offense, but it's also where they are at their best. If you look with their points per possession, it's the highest when they shoot it in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock. The second best is over the next 6 seconds of the shot clock. And so the first 12 seconds of defense, when you're playing them, you better be good. If you can force them to have to play half-court offense, you've got a chance. Well, then where they're next best is at the very end, and that's when the shot goes up. They're going to rebound it. So our concentration level on Friday and on Saturday morning was, man, you've got to be good in defensive transition. And I thought we were. We were pretty good for the majority of the night defensive transition. And when we weren't, they made us pay, and we made them pay when they weren't very good in their defensive transition. And so there for a while, it was a track meet.
Yeah, you're up 15 at halftime and knew that you're going to have to withstand a big run from them, and that's what happened. Fortunately, time ran out on them, and you end up winning it, but not without some drama at the end.
Well, we didn't want anybody to light up the cigar too early, and so we made it interesting. No, we executed some things well, and obviously there were some things that we need to do better. One of which just make free throws. We were maybe 16 for 19 or 17 for 20 until about a minute to go, and Cam I think missed the front end of 1-on-1. The JP missed the front of 1-on-1. You got the ball to the guys that you want to get fouled. You're not going to make them all, but in those situations. You got a chance to seal the game, or at least if they make them, you're going to play it out a little bit differently. You make them and you're up 3, and now you got a chance with the clock real low to foul intentionally to not give up a 3. Once JP missed his with about 4.5 seconds left, one of the things that we did really well, and it was from Torrey, was to get the ball going side to side. Once Woolley couldn't just boat race it up the floor, and it just takes 1 or 2 dribbles to the left and to the right. Now all of a sudden that clock's ticking, and it ends up being like a catch and throw it from after he passed it from about 40 feet. You mess that up, and now it's a catch and shoot from 20 feet, and it could be a whole different ballgame.
Torrey Alston may have had the best 45 seconds of the game when he had 2 alley-oop dunks and a block shot, all it was in bang, bang, bang on the other end,
it was presented a lot more eloquently on the radio than just that. You sound like Mike Green right there with the bang. But yeah, it was an impressive 30, 45 seconds. Wow. 2 alley-oop, one on a out-of-bounds play, the other in transition. Then he went to the other end and blocked a shot off the backboard. He just, that kind of shows what he can do and the value he brings. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that can make those kind of athletic plays.
Yeah, terrific atmosphere there in Kennesaw, and a lot of former players. And Middle had, I would say, 100 or more fans there, including a lot of former players from the Atlanta area.
Yeah, it was great. Antonio Green, Jalen Jordan, Eli Lawrence's family was there, Jaquan Raymond, some of the old guard as well. It was really good. And then obviously when you've got multiple players on our roster from Georgia, we had a good contingent.
Absolutely. And the Raiders win it 76-75 at Kennesaw State. We'll step aside. Our halftime guest will be Wes Long, and he'll be joining me right after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Smith dribbles to the top of the key and lets it fly, and it's no good. Oh, but wait, he was fouled. They'll have another chance to win. Hey, you know what this reminds me of, Bob?
The game against State last year.
Nope, the bonus scratch instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. They give you 2 chances to win, one on the front of the ticket and one on the back.
Okay, that's random.
Play the bonus scratch instant games today for your chance at up to $500,000. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, have you heard about the MTSU branded debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use your Ascend MTSU debit card in stores and online, or add it to your mobile wallet for the ultimate convenience. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Stop by one of Ascend's 5 Murfreesboro branches or visit ascend.org to learn more. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Last 30.
Feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt Live and coming to you from the Boulevard. Coming up Thursday night, Blue Blood's in the round. It's an NIL fundraiser down at Uncle Nearest Distiller. If you haven't gotten your tickets for that, you need to do so. You can go to goblueraiders.com for more information. Associate head coach Wes Long joins me on the program now for the next 8 or 10 good minutes. And Wes, thanks for coming out tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chip.
Appreciate it. You've been on this staff for 7 years, since the very beginning, and this group of players and this team, it just has a feel that there's something special about this group.
Yeah, agreed. I think that, from the moment that we got together in the summer, in today's time, you don't always know, or, often you don't know what they're going to be like because you have so many changing parts. But from the beginning, you just got good human beings. I think that's been a big piece of our resiliency and the way that they come every day to work, and there's a good joy about them. It goes back to just they're good people, and they just happen to be playing basketball and together. And I think you got to count your blessings when that happens because it's not every year, it's not every team.
Yep. The way that you all go about your work as a staff has changed a little bit this year in the way that you do your scouting, and used to be one person would be in charge of a scouting report, but now you kind of run the defense, Logan kind of runs the offense, and Eric kind of breaks down personnel, and you all have a piece in putting the scouting reports together. How has that helped the efficiency of what you guys are doing night in, night out?
I think it's been really advantageous. It's not been good for sleep. It's been a long time since I've slept this little, but it's been good from the standpoint that I don't think that any of us feel like we're stepping on another's toes when we talk about it. And that may have been the case just human nature-wise in the past. Hey, this is Wes's scout or this is Logan's scout. And you might have been a little hesitant to, well, what do you think about this? Or have you thought about this? You kind of look at each other like, hey, I'm the one that's watched all the film on that team. But knowing that all three of us are doing that every night, I think the synergy between what we talk about and the suggestions we make and checking with each other on this or that has been really a good thing for the overall knowledge from the bench during the game.
Tell folks who may not know, and I'll use last weekend as an example of game is over at Jacksonville State. You've got a game in less than 48 hours at Kennesaw. Tell folks how much goes into the work that you're doing with players in the film room, on the practice floor, all of that to get a scout in and soaked in by the players getting ready for a game.
Well, I think the first thing is you got to know your guys' learning styles. That differs across each individual. And so I think giving them enough to help you win the game while understanding what too much would be, I think that's really important. Eric and Logan and I have an unbelievable group chat that goes on, and it never stops. So we talk about some of that. Hey, you get with Esam or you get with so-and-so and show them these for, I know you're already getting with Tori on this, so let me send you these 2 clips and I want to make sure we cover this. That synergy is really good. And again, it's just about giving guys enough that there's 2 or 3 big pieces of meat on the bone here. We need to really know these. We need to know that this is what they're best at. This is how they create their runs. These are the 1 or 2, maybe 3 actions that they score on. Here's the couple guys that can really ignite their team, especially on those one-day preps. If you get past that very much, then I think you don't know anything.
Yeah, and when you all get on the practice floor, I mean, a lot of times, like Friday night, we went over to the arena, and you all had already gone through a fairly lengthy film session at the hotel. You get over there on Friday night, you've got about an hour, and a lot of that is just to kind of keep lactic acid from building up in legs and shoulders and things like that. But how much are you actually getting done on the floor on Friday night?
I think important stuff. It's not a ton, but I think it's super important. The 3 of us have also talked about that a lot. If I know from a defensive perspective, if we can leave that 1 hour practice or that hour and a half practice shoot around type setting on Friday night, and I feel good defensively that we can cover their top 3 things. Hey, they understand the coverages, they understand the communication, the switches, the chases, whatever it is. Logan said the same thing. If I'm putting in 2 or 3 new things, if they can know those, I feel good about that. And so I think it's not a ton of stuff, but I think it's the important stuff.
Yeah, and then on game day, you all will typically have a game day practice unless it's like a super early tip. But on game day, you guys are going over stuff on the floor, on film, and then a lot of folks have probably seen some pictures from our hotel ballrooms where there's a court that's taped off, and you actually go through a lot of out-of-bounds plays, things like that, in the hotel. And I'm always kind of wondering, can you actually, on a taped-off floor and walking through with little toy basketballs, can you actually soak something in from that?
Well, I've thought about that. First of all, shout out to our manager crew, who they're always super artistic, and they come up with these awesome tape courts. But I've thought about what you just said a lot, and there's the old adage that if you can't explain it to an 8-year-old, then you don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
And baseline defense is one of the things that we're best at overall, and we always cover it in the ballroom on a taped court with a miniature basketball that we bought at Walmart. And so it's like, man, that's the thing that we cover on game day. Again, not too much, top 4 or 5 things that they're going to do on a baseline offensive
That's about
set.
15, 20 minutes,
Yep.
either right before or right after the pregame meal.
That's right. And so I've thought about that often. Man, maybe we should do more of that, because they seem to soak that in and really do a good job of covering that stuff and being locked in on what we're doing.
One of the things that really impresses me when you all are going through a scout, it's not just one person talking at them. There's a lot of questions being asked and answers coming back from the players where you're asking very specific things about players. And the thing that impresses me is you have 15 voices answering all at the same time and all answering correctly.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's how it sounds. I'm not sure I always agree with that, but hopefully that's how it always sounds. That's really a check on what they know. This is not a trick. We're the professors, and we tell these guys all the time, we want you to make A's on the test. Here's the answer. If you have questions, please ask. If you don't know it, let's talk about it right now. This isn't, so-and-so didn't know it. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad.
You want them to know
Heck
it.
yeah, man. They need to know the stuff.
Yeah.
That's how you win games. And so I think that's part of having an old group. JB's terrific at that. Esam asks great questions. There's a few others. Kamari, even though he hasn't played lately, he knows what's going on. He can answer questions. And so there's a lot of good voices in the room. The other thing that you notice, Jacob Johnson is as good as I've ever been around on the bench in a game. When he doesn't play a lot of nights, but man, he helps from that bench and he helps in that huddle, and he's saying the right things. He's saying the right stuff according to the scout. Or did you see how they did this on this play? That's a little bit different, but remember, I mean, he's another coach out there. So having an older group and an experienced group that played a lot of minutes and a lot of basketball, you get a lot of good voices with real meaty content, which is good.
All right, I want to change gears. Speaking of a group that's getting older, that would be your 4 youngsters at home, the 2 boys, the 2 girls, and your wife, Martha. And, you know, one thing about in a profession that can be nomadic at times, you all have landed in a spot now for 7 years at a very prime time in your kids' age.
Think about it often, you know, in the profession, assistants complain about their bosses to each other a lot, and to other.
Go right ahead. We've got the mics are open.
The good thing about me is, if I'm going to say it, I've probably said it to Nick before. You know, I'm pretty kind of an open book. But the thing that we talk about, me and Martha, often as we hear about other stories, and we've experienced it in our marriage too, that we're most thankful for, Nick, is the life that we've been able to lead here. You know, I'd love to be a head coach again one day. Love to keep moving. But man, this has been awesome, and we're in no hurry for it to be done. I mean, we take it year by year. But the fact that he allows me, whether it's been Sean, Andre, Turner, whoever, Eric, allows us to be a father and a husband. I wouldn't trade that for anything. You'd have to pay me a whole heck of a lot more. Because it's been really important. You know, I've been here 7 years, and that's the second longest of any place I've been. So it's home to my kids. They love it here. And, you know, we were just talking at dinner, me and Martha, before I came over, about a friend that used to be here and you know, who has to go to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday, and it's an off day. Yeah. The team's not there, but they're there from 9 to 5, and it's like, man, I don't want to give that up for the age that our kids are. You know, it's a one-time. Coach Acuff at Lipscomb says all the time, don't screw that up, Wes. You get one chance to raise your kids.
That's right.
You know, he and I talk a lot, and he says, don't screw that up. Well, you know, we really appreciate Nick and Chris and all the people at Middle that allow us to be parents. They allow us to be good husbands and good fathers, and that stuff's important, man.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
All right. Wes Long, Associate Head Coach, joining us here. We'll take a timeout. Back with Coach McDevitt after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles, TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead.
Last 30.
Plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt Live tonight from the Boulevard. And, Coach, we had Wes Long on. You're really fortunate. You've got a great staff that really enjoys being around each other and working together.
Yeah, they really do. I've enjoyed having all of them, really. You know, I've been with Wes now for 8 years, Logan for 10 years. And so I've known Wes for probably 15, maybe 20 years now. But yeah, just really good people, really good basketball coaches. There's a good synergy amongst all of us, work well together. And, you know, you're a team within a team, you know, and players can feel that. You know, when you've been on enough teams and in enough locker rooms, you can sense when there's friction amongst the staff, or there's territorial issues that Wes was kind of talking about, whether this is my scout versus your scout, or this is my recruit versus this is your recruit. And they just don't have that. You know, it's like he was saying, it's a testament to the kind of players that we've got. It's just a testament to the kind of men that they are. They're really good people.
Yep, all right, they certainly are. It's a lot of fun to travel with them, I'll tell you that. Speaking of synergy, let's get some synergy going on some answers to 5 random questions now for the head coach. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. I'm not going to ask you about yesterday's halftime show, but what was your favorite halftime show ever at the Super Bowl?
The favorite halftime ever, there was, for one, Prince was really good.
Yes.
Maybe that was 07. Michael Jackson in 93. And then the one from a few years ago when Dr. Dre had the whole collaboration. That was fun.
Yeah, from watching social media yesterday and today, the jury is out on yesterday's halftime show. All right, number 2, assuming you have neither, are you more likely to get a tattoo or a piercing?
More likely to get a tattoo.
Okay. We will take submissions on what people would like to see you get tattooed.
I do not have one of either. For a long time, when I lived under my mom and dad's roof, it was do not come home with either of those. If you wish, you can have one coming in the door. You won't have one very long.
There you go.
The piercing will be ripped out. The tattoo could get scraped off.
That's right. That's true. Number 3, do you have a habit that you'd like to break?
A habit I'd like to break? Maybe. I wouldn't mind if I could break the habit of a little fidget with, you know, every now and then to get a little string or a little rock, something like that, you know, yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. If you could insert yourself into a television show,
oh Lord,
what show would it be? And it cannot be HGTV on your part.
Well, then it'd have to be Sports Center because there's only about 2 or 3 shows. What? Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, when I was in high school and college, I watched a lot of Saved by the Bell. I'll tell you that. Little 90210 and Saved by the Bell. So, yeah, maybe one of those. But
I think I'd be in Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing, and I'm good at that.
Yeah, our TV's on either ESPN or HGTV. So if it's not on one of those or maybe Discovery, you know, on the road, that's some good TV, too. Some of the little Contraband and, you know, Caught at the Border, Seized at the Border. You can see some funny, good stuff there.
First 48.
Oh, that's another good one.
You don't want to be in that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Little story from the road this past weekend. We're in Anniston, Alabama. There is the lobby, and then there's the kitchen where they were fixing the food. We're in the lobby waiting for dinner or breakfast, I think, and we start hearing this meowing coming out of the kitchen. I mean, and it was...
That's not what you want to hear, by the way.
That's not what you want to hear. It was continuous meowing coming out of the kitchen. Turns out, a lady who worked in the kitchen, her notification on her phone was a meow.
We were starting to get worried.
At least that's what they told us.
Yeah.
So.
There was never a spotted cat.
We never spotted one.
We never saw it.
And we looked. We made sure.
Yes, we did.
All right, we're going to step aside, wrap it up with the coach after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles, TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back in. Final segment with Coach Nick McDevitt as the Blue Raiders get ready to take on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers on Saturday. Big weekend for you. It's Western on Saturday, and you're a big race fan. The Daytona 500 is Sunday, and you had a chance to meet with your boy Eli Gold down at Jacksonville State.
That's right. That was a lot of fun sitting down talking with Eli Gold.
Longtime voice of NASCAR.
Longtime voice of NASCAR. I remember going to the races when I was young, and you're listening to headsets and at the race, and that was the distinct voice. That is a recognizable voice. You can close your eyes and you know you're talking to Eli Gold or listening to Eli Gold. So a lot of fun sitting down talking to him about NASCAR and racing and all that after the game the other night.
Well, number one priority this week is to
the
Hilltoppers and get the sweep. What's it going to take to get a sweep on those guys?
Well, obviously you're on the road. It's a rivalry game. We'll have to go up there and play well. We played well here. We'll have to go up there and do that as well. We've got to have a really good prep over the next couple of days. They've got multiple offensive weapons. Don McHenry, Christian Lander are two guys that are capable of going for 30. They've had big nights on the same night. You can't go in there and let two guys get 50 between them. Now all of a sudden it's just Tyrone Marshall and a couple other guys, and now they're in the 70s or 80s, and you're putting pressure on your team to play in the 80s to win on the road. So we've got to go in there with a heightened sense of urgency on the defensive end.
All right, 7 o'clock tip. We'll see you there.
That's right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Jake Lyman has been our studio producer tonight for the head coach, Chip Walter, saying thanks for being with us. Good night from the Boulevard on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.